a bizarre debate last night in Florida, now being called Fangate, or as one tweeter expertly dubbed it instead, Fantrum. Whatever it was fantastic. Republican Governor Rick Scott was supposed to debate his opponent, Charlie Crist, on stage for the televised event. But Charlie Crist broke the rules with this little fan under the podium of the Democrat. The device was not allowed under the debate contract, which both parties signed. Or was it?
The rules that the Scott campaign just showed us that says that no electronics can be used,
Are we really going to debate about a fan, or are we going to talk about education and the environment and the future of our state? I mean, really.
Governor Scott was accused of refusing to take to the stage over the issue, but he says his 7-minute delay in getting out there had nothing to do with the fan.
I waited until we figured out if he was going to show up. He said he wasn't going to come to the. He said he was going to come to the debate.
Joining me now, Mark Aguilar, criminal defense attorney and former federal prosecutor down in Florida, and Mercedes Colwin, who's also a criminal defense attorney and a Fox News legal analyst. So I ask you, Mark, it was fantastic, but who was to blame? What did the contract actually provide?
Well, let me just say this. Scott did absolutely nothing wrong except invoke Florida's stand your ground rule over a fan. He looked completely petty, like a toddler. This isn't fair. And let me just tell you this. Yes, it says no fans, but apparently Chris, he may be right, because he wrote in things like, well, we can readdress that fan issue depending on the temperature of the venue.
No.
Who cares? You don't split hairs. You don't split hairs. It did. It had some language in there like that, Megyn. You don't split hairs.
I'm looking at it right here. I'll show the audience my little highlighted copy of the contract, which this is the ridiculousness that these men reduced me to. And their contract, Mercedes, says, they both signed it, candidates may not bring electronic devices, including fans, to the debate. And then after Governor Rick Scott, there's a cameraman walking in front of the camera, and then after Governor Rick Scott signed that, Charlie Crist tried to add an addendum saying, oh, unless I really want to.
So he did.
Yeah,
Rick Scott never signed that or signed onto it.
Exactly. Contracts 101. You cannot unilaterally change a contract.
Right.
Somehow Chris forgot to do that. He said, why don't I just add that addendum? Doesn't matter if Governor Scott signs it or not. I just want to change the rules because I'm Chris.
You're missing the point.
Can't do it.
You both,
can't do it.
What is the point?
101.
You are both missing the point. The only fan that should cause someone not to come out to debate is a fanatic supporter who actually physically made their way past security and hid under the stand.
No.
Let me say this.
No. Because first of all, I just want the audience to know that apparently Charlie Crist has real fan issues because he brings this little fan with him everywhere, and Mark shares them. It does get hot under the lights. I grant you, Mark.
It's Florida. Are we really picking a battle over a fan with a suit under the lights?
So you know
he doesn't just need it in Florida. Charlie Crist came here to Fox News, and he also tried to pull that fan stunt here. Listen, he takes he has a girl who holds the fan for him during certain interviews. I think we have a picture of it.
Exactly.
And Mercedes has one too.
Yep, here we go.
Look at the fan girl. He brings fans with him. But let me say this. He was not allowed. The rules were he wasn't allowed to bring it. And Mercedes, the debate committee later came out and said, Governor Scott was not refusing to join the debate. They were, in fact, waiting on resolution of the rules issue, and we regret that we allowed one candidate to take the stage, meaning Crist. The debate people screwed up.
Exactly right, and that's what the governor said. He came forward. He goes, I was waiting to get signal to come forward because Chris had some sort of canary that he couldn't have his fan and wasn't going to go into do the debate unless he had his fan.
How does he look now? I ask you, how does he look?
He looks bad because the debate organizers screwed it up.
Exactly. It was the moderators. It was the organizers.
Can I say this? When I thought he was standing off there like a baby pitching a fit over a fan, I thought what you thought. But later, the debate people told us he was in the back, not knowing that his opponent had gone out there on his own, and he thought they were waiting for resolution. Why shouldn't he insist that they enforce the rules as written, Mark?
Oh, Megyn, because now people, as a result, are rightfully questioning his political intuition. He made a big mistake in a heated race. He screwed up, Megyn. You got to admit it.
Now,
I don't understand why people are so obsessed with air being blown on them. What is so important about having a little extra air? You can't make it through like a few-minute segment or without like extra. I don't understand why. Mark, Mercedes, good to see you.
Great to see you.
James, put that down. Put that down. They can see you now.